So it sounds like it's pretty general writing, really. There is no specific target.
That's exactly right. I mean, compared to London, for example.
Who was it that was talking about Tabasco sauce? Were you talking about Tabasco sauce recently?
It never.
Otis, Esther. We're the Northrup families back there, with the Eldridges and the Struthers. We were, in fact, one of Hazel's adopted families. And, Otis and Esther wasn't enough for her, so she had to adopt us. And God knows we're better off for it. Because she was my wife's confidant. My wife didn't have an older sister until she met Hazel. And then she finally had the older sister that she never had. And Hazel showed her how to raise 4 young children. She had a lot of practice with Otis. Sorry, Otis. I say nothing of Clifford and Mike. She knew how to raise kids. And but more importantly, when my 4 kids, or our 4 kids, they are our 4 kids. when they looked at Hazel, and they literally spent more time with Hazel than they did with me, because I was all shooting pool. No, Reverend, I wasn't. They bonded with her from the time that they were infants until the time that she retired, basically. So she was in fact their surrogate mother. It's a trite phrase, but in fact it's true. When they looked at her face, they saw compassion, they saw joy, they saw understanding, and they learned that from Hazel. God knows they didn't learn it from them. And so when they see that in others now and for the rest of their life, they recognize it. And when they recognize those qualities, they recognize those things that they learned from Hazel.
Series, which we've done for 2 seasons at the McKinney Avenue Contemporary, and we have sold out our shows. It's been really amazing. And what the format is there's a different theme every month, and each theme is an idiom in the English language.
I'm tempted to say that when I was growing up in Kentucky in the 50s, Christmas was a simpler affair. But of course it was simpler. I was a kid. I had no responsibility but to sit and wait for Christmas to happen. And as far as I knew, it was simple for adults too, because I was under the impression that Santa Claus took care of everything. But Christmas really was simpler for the male gender back then, because it was understood that the women would take care of all the cooking and the cleaning. Hallelujah. After our holiday meals, the women would clear the table and disappear into the kitchen, while the men set up a card table in the living room in front of the black and white television. Beer and cigars appeared, and Granddaddy and his brothers, Uncle Lewis and Uncle Henry, commenced playing cards with one eye and watching football with the other. Sometimes I'd climb up in Granddaddy's lap, and he'd let me have a sip of his beer. She'd been drinking too much eggnog, and we begged her not to go. But she'd left her medication, so she stumbled out the door into the snow. When we found her Christmas morning at the scene of the attack, she had hoof prints on her forehead and incriminating claws marks on her back. Grandma got run over
by a reindeer.